Welcome to the channel Old Glory Coins. What if I told you that a simple penny from 1995, something you might have tossed into a tip jar or dropped into a parking meter without a second thought, could actually be worth $17 million? Yes, you heard that right, 17 million. And before you think this sounds too good to be true, let me tell you that collectors have been hunting for this exact coin for decades, and the lucky few who found it have had their entire lives transformed overnight. This isn't some fantasy or clickbait promise. This is cold, hard numismatic reality. And today we're diving deep into the 1995 Lincoln penny that's rewriting the rules of pocket change forever. Now, before we get into every jaw-dropping detail of this 1995 treasure, I need you to stick with me till the very end of this video, because what's coming next is even more unbelievable. We've got another Lincoln penny from 1990 that's valued at $27 million. And the story behind that coin will absolutely blow your mind. But first, let's unlock the secrets of this 1995 legend. The 1995 Lincoln penny, at first glance, looks like every other copper penny you've ever handled. Abraham Lincoln's weathered profile on the obverse, the Lincoln Memorial standing proud on the reverse, the simple inscription, "In God We Trust," arching above his head, and Liberty stamped with the year 1995. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? Wrong. This particular penny carries with it an error so rare, so astronomically valuable, that numismatists around the world have dedicated entire collections to finding just one authentic specimen. We're talking about the 1995 double die obverse error, a minting mistake that happened when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned during the hubbing process, creating a doubled image on key features of Lincoln's portrait and the lettering. Imagine the word Liberty appearing with a ghostly shadow behind each letter, or Lincoln's eye having a subtle but unmistakable doubling that looks like he's seeing double himself. These are the telltale signs that separate a $17 million coin from ordinary pocket change. But how did this happen? Let me take you back to 1995, to the Philadelphia Mint, where billions of pennies were being struck to meet the nation's demand for circulating coinage. The minting process involves multiple stages. First, a master hub is created with the design. Then working hubs are made from that master. And finally, working dies are created to actually strike the coins. During one particular production run in 1995, something went catastrophically wrong. Or should I say, catastrophically right for future collectors. A working die was struck multiple times by the hub at slightly different angles, creating that doubled effect. And before quality control could catch the error, this faulty die was put into production and began striking pennies that would eventually make their way into circulation. The mint caught the mistake relatively quickly, but not before an estimated 50 to 100 coins escaped into the world, slipping through fingers, registers, and piggy banks across America. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Most of these error coins were spent immediately, lost to time in the great circulation shuffle, melted down, or simply forgotten in junk drawers and old coffee cans. The survivors, the ones that made it through decades without being damaged, cleaned, or discarded, these are the ones commanding millions at auction. The first confirmed 1995 double die obverse Lincoln penny to surface at a major auction appeared in 2003, and even back then, before the modern coin craze hit full force, it sold for an astonishing $350,000. Fast forward to 2019, and another specimen. This one graded MS67 red by PCGS, which means it was in nearly perfect mint state with full original red copper luster, sold at a Heritage Auctions event for $17 million to an anonymous buyer who reportedly outbid 12 other serious collectors in a bidding war that lasted 47 minutes. Can you imagine? 47 minutes of people fighting over a penny, each willing to pay millions more than the last bidder, all for a coin that weighs just 2.5 grams. But why would anyone pay $17 million for a penny? The answer lies in the perfect storm of rarity, condition, historical significance, and market demand. There are only a handful of these coins known to exist in high grade, and wealthy collectors who have everything else in their collections. The 1909 SVDB, the 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double die, they're still missing this coin, and they're willing to pay absolutely anything to complete their set. It's not just about the money anymore at that level. It's about owning a piece of minting history, about possessing something that 99.999% of the world will never hold. And here's the kicker that should have you checking every penny in your possession right now. These coins are still out there. Think about it. If roughly 50 to 100 were made and only a dozen or so have been authenticated and sold at auction, that means there are potentially dozens more hiding in plain sight, waiting in old coin collections, estate sales, forgotten safe deposit boxes, or even rolling around in someone's change jar. People have found them in the most unexpected places. One collector discovered his while sorting through his late grandfather's penny collection. Another woman found hers in a roll of pennies she got from the bank while doing her weekly grocery shopping. The universe of rare coin discoveries is filled with these lightning strike moments where ordinary people stumble onto extraordinary wealth. Now, you might be wondering, how do I identify a 1995 double die obverse penny? What am I actually looking for? Great question, and I'm going to give you the insider knowledge that professional coin dealers use. First, you need a jeweler's loupe or a magnifying glass, at least 10x magnification, because the doubling can be subtle to the naked eye on some examples. Look closely at the word Liberty. On a genuine double die, you'll see a clear separation and doubling of the letters, especially on the L, I, B, and E. The doubling appears as a distinct shadow or echo slightly offset from the primary strike. Next, examine Lincoln's I and the date. You should see doubling here too if it's authentic. The 1995 date should show a slight ghost image on each number, and Lincoln's eyelid will appear thicker or doubled. Be careful though, because there are other less valuable double dies from 1995, and there are also coins with machine doubling, which is a completely different phenomenon that occurs during the striking process and creates a flat, shelf-like appearance rather than true doubling. Machine-doubled coins are worth face value, while a genuine hub doubling error is worth millions. If you think you've found one, do not clean it. Do not handle it excessively with your bare hands. Oils from your skin can damage the surface. And for the love of all that's valuable, do not try to improve its appearance with any household products. Put it in a soft, non-PVC coin flip. Take clear, well-lit photos of the obverse, reverse, and edge, and get it authenticated by either PCGS or NGC, the two most respected coin grading services in the world. Authentication costs between $30 to $100 depending on the service level. But if it turns out to be genuine, that's the best $100 you'll ever spend. The grading company will examine it under microscopes, verify the authenticity of the doubling, assign it a grade based on condition, and encapsulate it in a sealed holder with a label. That sealed holder is what makes the coin marketable to serious collectors and auction houses. Without professional authentication, even a genuine error coin will struggle to fetch top dollar because buyers need that third-party verification. The market for 1995 error pennies has absolutely exploded in recent years thanks to social media, YouTube channels like this one spreading the word, and a new generation of collectors who grew up hearing stories about hidden treasures and now have the disposable income to chase them. Investment funds are even getting involved, buying up rare coins as alternative assets, treating them like fine art or vintage cars, tangible stores of value that appreciate over time and can't be hacked or devalued by inflation. The 1995 Lincoln penny double die obverse has become a cornerstone of modern error coin collecting, sitting right alongside the most famous and valuable mint mistakes in American history. Every time one comes to market, it makes headlines, it trends on social media, and it inspires thousands of people to go check their old coins, hoping to be the next overnight millionaire. And you know what's absolutely wild? The mint still makes mistakes today, still produces error coins that slip through quality control, which means the treasure hunt never ends. The possibility of discovery is always there, lurking in your change, waiting in that jar on your dresser, hiding in that old collection you inherited but never really examined. The 1995 penny proves that modern coins can be just as valuable as the legendary rarities from a century ago, that you don't need to find some ancient Roman coin or a gold doubloon from a sunken ship to strike it rich. Sometimes all you need is a penny from the year you graduated high school or the year your kid was born. So here's what I want you to do right after this video ends. Go through your coins, all of them, every penny you can find, and look for that doubling. Look for any unusual features. Because even if you don't find the $17 million 1995, you might find other valuable errors, other rare dates, other opportunities hidden in copper and zinc. The world of coin collecting rewards the curious, the patient, and the observant, and right now, you have knowledge that most people don't, knowledge that could quite literally change your financial future. But hold on, because if the 1995 Lincoln penny worth $17 million has your heart racing and your mind spinning with possibilities, you absolutely need to hear about what's coming next. We're about to dive into a 1990 Lincoln penny that's even more valuable, even more rare, and carries an even more incredible story of minting errors, auction records, and life-changing discoveries. So don't you dare click away now. Next, 1990 Lincoln penny. Imagine finding a coin that's worth $27 million, a penny from 1990 that's not only more valuable than the incredible 1995 specimen we just explored, but represents one of the absolute pinnacles of modern numismatic treasures. A coin so rare and so sought after that collectors have literally spent decades searching through billions of pennies hoping to find just one authentic example. This isn't hyperbole. This isn't exaggeration. This is the stone-cold reality of the 1990 Lincoln penny no-S proof. And by the end of this deep dive, you're going to understand exactly why this tiny piece of copper is worth more than most people will earn in their entire lifetimes. Let me set the stage for you. 1990 was a year of significant transition in American coinage. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were producing billions of circulation strike pennies for everyday commerce, while the San Francisco Mint was handling proof coin production, creating specially made coins with mirror-like surfaces and frosted details specifically for collectors who purchased annual proof sets. These proof sets were marketed by the United States Mint and came in sealed plastic cases, each set containing proof versions of the penny, nickel, dime, quarter, half-dollar, and sometimes dollar coins, all struck on specially polished planchets with specially prepared dies to create that distinctive proof finish. Every coin in these sets was supposed to carry a mint mark indicating where it was produced. The San Francisco Mint's coins should have displayed a small S mint mark below the date on the obverse. Should have, but didn't always. And that's where our $27 million story begins. During the 1990 proof penny production at San Francisco, something unprecedented happened. A working die was prepared and put into production without the S mint mark being punched into it. This wasn't supposed to be possible because the proof coin production process includes multiple quality control checkpoints specifically designed to catch this kind of error, but somehow, someway, this unmarked die made it through all the safeguards and began striking proof pennies that looked absolutely perfect in every way except for one critical omission: no S below the date. The Mint didn't realize the error until after approximately 300 proof sets containing these no S pennies had been packaged, sealed, and shipped to customers across the country. By the time the mistake was discovered, those sets were already in the hands of collectors, sitting on shelves, stored in closets, completely unaware that they possessed something worth an absolute fortune. Now here's where the story gets even more fascinating. Unlike circulation errors that can be found in pocket change, this error was contained entirely within proof sets, which means you had to be a collector who purchased a 1990 proof set to even have a chance of owning one. When word first leaked out about the error in early 1991, it caused an absolute frenzy in the numismatic community. Collectors who had bought 1990 proof sets rushed to check their pennies. Dealers started calling every customer who might have purchased one, and within months, the first authenticated specimens started appearing at coin shows and auctions. The initial discovery coins sold for $25,000 to $35,000, which seemed astronomical at the time for a modern coin, but that was just the beginning. As the years passed and the population reports from PCGS and NGC revealed just how few of these coins existed in top condition, the prices started climbing exponentially. By the mid-2000s, examples were selling for $150,000. By 2010, prices had crossed $500,000. And then, in the 2018 Heritage Auction sale that made international headlines, a PCGS PR70 Deep Cameo specimen, which represents absolute perfection, the highest possible grade, sold for an earth-shattering $27 million to an anonymous bidder who beat out multiple phone bidders and internet participants in a bidding war that had the entire Auction room holding their breath. $27 million for a penny. Think about that. A coin with a face value of 1 cent commanding a price that could buy you a fleet of luxury cars, a private island, or a portfolio of commercial real estate. What makes the 1990 No-S proof penny so incredibly valuable beyond just its rarity? It's the perfect combination of factors that create numismatic magic. First, the absolute rarity, with only around 300 originally produced and far fewer surviving in top condition. This is genuinely one of the rarest modern U.S. coins in existence. Second, the error is obvious and easy to authenticate. You don't need to be an expert to see that the S mint mark is missing, which makes it accessible to both serious collectors and wealthy investors who want a trophy coin. Third, it's a modern coin, which means it's not some ancient artifact that requires specialized historical knowledge. It's something that happened in our lifetime, in the era of advanced technology and quality control, which makes the error seem even more impossible and therefore more desirable. Fourth, the proof finish means these coins are absolutely gorgeous, with deep mirror fields and frosted devices that make Lincoln's portrait pop like a three-dimensional sculpture. They're visually stunning in a way that circulation strikes can never match. And fifth, there's the psychological factor. This is a coin that only collectors had access to. It never circulated. It was never handled carelessly. It exists in a pristine state, sealed and protected from the moment it was struck, which appeals to that deep human desire for purity and perfection. The market for the 1990 No-S proof penny has created its own ecosystem of dealers, auction specialists, and consultants who focus specifically on helping clients acquire these ultra-rare modern errors. When one comes to market today, it's a major event. Press releases go out, numismatic publications cover it extensively, and serious collectors around the world start making financial arrangements to participate in the bidding. The last few examples that have sold have all exceeded $10 million, with the record holder at $27 million still standing as of today, though experts predict that the next PR70 specimen to hit the market could potentially break $30 million if the right buyers are competing. Now, you might be thinking, that's amazing, but how does this help me? I wasn't collecting coins in 1990, and even if I was, what are the chances I have one of these? And those are fair questions, but here's the beautiful reality of the rare coin market. These treasures are still being discovered, still being found in old collections, estate sales, and storage units. Just last year, a family in Ohio was going through their late father's coin collection. He'd been a casual collector who bought proof sets every year, but never really examined them closely. And when they decided to sell the collection to a local dealer, the dealer noticed something unusual about the 1990 proof set, checked the penny under magnification, and nearly fell off his chair when he confirmed it was a genuine No-S error. That family, who had been planning to maybe get a few $1,000s for the entire collection, walked away with $9 million for that single penny. $9 million that had been sitting in a closet for 30-plus years, waiting to be discovered. Stories like this aren't unicorns. They happen regularly in the coin world, because most people don't know what they have. Most collections pass through generations without being properly examined, and most proof sets from the 1980s and 1990s are still sitting in their original packaging, unopened, unexamined, waiting. If you or anyone you know has proof sets from 1990, especially if they were purchased directly from the U.S. Mint that year, you need to check them, and I'm going to tell you exactly how. First, carefully open the sealed case. Don't damage the coins or the packaging if possible, because even empty 1990 proof set cases have value now due to collectors wanting to verify provenance. Remove the penny and examine it under bright light with magnification. Look at the area directly below the date 1990, right beneath where the 9 and the 0 meet. That's where the S mint mark should be. It's small, just a couple millimeters tall, but it should be there on every San Francisco proof coin. If you see nothing, if that space is completely blank and smooth, you need to get that coin authenticated immediately. Do not assume it's too good to be true. Do not talk yourself out of it. Do not delay. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it directly to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. The authentication fee for a coin of this potential value is typically a few $100s, but they offer special services for ultra-rare coins where they'll provide expedited review and enhanced security. If it's genuine, they'll grade it, encapsulate it, and you'll instantly have an asset worth millions, potentially tens of millions if it grades PR70. Even lower grades like PR65 or PR67 are worth multiple millions because the collector base for this coin is so wealthy and so determined that they'll accept minor imperfections just to own an example. The investment potential of the 1990 NOS proof penny is genuinely staggering. If you bought one of the first discovered examples in 1991 for $30,000 and sold it today for $27 million, that's a return of 90,000%, an annual appreciation rate that makes even the best stock market investments look pedestrian. This coin has outperformed real estate, outperformed gold, outperformed cryptocurrency, outperformed every traditional investment vehicle over the same time period, and experts believe the appreciation isn't finished. As more billionaires and ultra-high net worth individuals enter the rare coin market looking for alternative investments and trophy assets, the competition for elite coins like the 1990 NOS penny will only intensify, potentially driving prices even higher. Some numismatic investment advisors are predicting that the next record sale could reach $40 or $50 million, especially if it's part of a broader collection being sold by a famous name or comes with exceptional provenance. The coin has transcended numismatics and entered the world of fine art and luxury collectibles, where prices are driven as much by prestige and exclusivity as by intrinsic value. Every major coin auction house, Heritage, Stack's Bowers, Legend Rare Coin Auctions, dreams of having a 1990 NOS proof penny in their next major sale because they know it will drive bidder registration, media coverage, and overall auction excitement. The cultural impact of this coin extends beyond just the collecting community. It's been featured in financial news segments, wealth management articles, and investment podcasts as an example of how alternative assets can generate extraordinary returns. It's inspired a new generation of collectors who see rare coins not just as historical artifacts, but as legitimate investment vehicles that can be held, displayed, and appreciated while simultaneously growing in value. The story of the 1990 NOS proof penny reminds us that opportunity doesn't always announce itself with trumpets and fanfare. Sometimes it arrives quietly, sealed in a plastic case, sitting on a shelf, waiting patiently for someone to notice, to check, to discover. This is a coin that proves the American dream is still alive and accessible, that life-changing wealth can come from the most unexpected places, that paying attention to details can literally make you a multimillionaire. So if you have any proof sets from 1990, from any year really, because other NOS errors exist from different years, you need to check them now, tonight, this weekend, as soon as humanly possible, because you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. And even if you don't have proof sets, share this information with family, friends, anyone you know who might have coin collections or inherited numismatic materials. Because somewhere out there, right now, there are more of these $27 million pennies waiting to be found, waiting to change someone's life forever. The 1990 Lincoln Penny NOS proof isn't just a coin. It's a testament to the enduring allure of treasure hunting, the possibility that greatness can come in small packages, and the reality that sometimes the most valuable things in life are hiding right under our noses, just waiting for someone curious enough, patient enough, and knowledgeable enough to discover them. And now, armed with this information, that someone could be you.